Hi, watching my channel Cloud Busted. So today's video I'm going to find out if the Super Rock Rey chassis will fit on a Super Baja Rey and allow me to use the bottom load battery tray and also be ADAS capable. So right there are the parts I'm going to use. Here's the main chassis plate, battery door, it's like a little inspection cover, battery box, and this is the back piece that goes back here that the suspension links bolt to, and this is the spring-loaded battery door retainer, I guess you would call it. So those are the parts, 1, 2, 3. So 5 parts plus this separate bolts, and I didn't unbolt it just because I didn't see a need to. But if you were to buy these parts separately, you want to make sure you get that too. So those came right off my Super Rock Rey. I took it apart, all the pieces are right here. So now I'm going to start taking apart the Super Baja Rey and see if these parts will go in. I don't really know, I'm not sure. I won't know until I take apart the Super Baja Rey. So in the last video I did, I took the Super Rock Rey tires and wheels, mounted them on this. They fit great, I just had to trim the fenders. So one thing I didn't mention in the last video, when I switched the tires over, I didn't really notice it till after I did the video and ran it. The front tires, there's very little clearance between the rim and the knuckle. You could barely fit a piece of paper between them, so all I did was I took the wheel back off, filed down the knuckle a little bit. I just removed a tiny bit of material, not enough to really make it weaker, and there was plenty of clearance, so that's good. It definitely, I think it looks a lot better. So I'm going to start taking this apart, see if I can make those chassis components work. Alright, so I got this thing mostly taken apart, and I just noticed something else really cool. Speed control. I wasn't sure if they were the same, but going by the part number right here, this is from the Super Rock Rey, this is Super Baja Rey, DYNS2661. So they're both identical, so that's awesome. So that means that this ESC can handle 8S. I don't know about the motor, so that's another thing I gotta decide. Do I want to use the motor from the Super Rock Rey or the one from the Super Baja Rey? So I don't know, I'll think about that while I'm assembling the rest of this. Alright, so I got it all taken apart, and there's a lot of parts. I mean, look at all these things. There's a lot of parts that go into these trucks. Look at all that, that's crazy. A lot of screws, a lot of small parts. There's like the cage and everything like that, front suspension. So I just noticed something else, so I want to show you something real quick. So this is the motor from the Super Rock Rey. This is from the Super Baja Rey. So the one from the Super Baja Rey is a 1200 kV. Super Rock Rey is a 750 kV. But the Super Baja Rey motor is definitely quite a bit bigger, so I don't know what to do. Definitely different gearing in the Super Baja Rey. Super Baja Rey, you can see, has a much bigger pinion, so it's going to have higher top speed. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to try this. I'm going to use the 750 kV motor with the pinion from the Super Rock Rey. So the Super Rock Rey chassis is all assembled, ready to go in the Super Baja Rey. So if you want to switch this over, all you have to do is call Horizon and order a few parts. You're going to need the bottom chassis plate, the battery box door, goes right in here. This is the battery box part itself, you'll need that. This is the rear, I don't know what you would call a suspension mount. It's got the 4 mounting points for the upper and lower control arms. And also there's this piece right here, that's the battery box door retainer. It's actually 3 pieces. This is 2 pieces, there's a spring, so you'll need those too. I wish I saved the Super Rock Rey owner's manual because it had all the part numbers, but I don't know, whenever I get a new kit, the first thing I do is throw away the box and the manual. You should probably save the manual. I don't. I once built a Cloudbuster with no manual in about 2.5 hours. So anyway, I'm going to finish reassembling this and get this Super Baja Rey run on 8S. So another thing I just noticed is these are interchangeable. So if you like redheads, you're in luck. Alright, so here it is, project complete. Everything went together as planned. One thing I want to note though, speed controller, even though it's the same part number, there is a small difference. The wire right here for the on-off switch is longer on the Super Rock Rey, just due to the switch position, which I think is better anyway. So I ended up using the ESC from the Super Rock Rey, but if you have a Super Baja Rey and you just want to do the chassis conversion, I would recommend just cut these wires, solder them a little bit longer. And another thing, this is the transmission from the Super Rock Rey. It's weird, it had a lot of dirt in it. So what I did was, this is the cover, it goes underneath like that. There's a little foam gasket right here, and like an old dirt bike trick is, just put like a thick waterproof grease around the seal before you bolt it up. That'll keep all the dirt out. So if you're thinking about switching your Super Baja Rey to the Super Rock Rey chassis with this bottom little battery design, which I think is far superior, there's 6 parts you'll need. You'll need this rear suspension mount, the lower chassis plate, the battery door, and then this. This is the latch mechanism, and this is 3 pieces. It's like 2 pieces and a spring, so 6 parts all together, and that's an awesome upgrade. Being able to just pop the battery in right there and run around 8S, it's awesome. And another part I used from the Super Rock Rey was limit straps, which meant I had to put the shock in the forward position. Might have to do a little bit of suspension tuning. I was going to use the window netting from the Super Rock Rey, but if you take a look, it bolts on the backside, and I guess it wasn't a huge deal. I could drill a couple holes, but I just left it off. Didn't really matter. So if you have both these trucks, the Super Baja Rey and the Super Rock Rey, and one brakes, I wouldn't recommend doing what I did. I only did this to show you what can interchange between the two, but if you have them both one brakes, I would suggest just fix the one that broke. But if you have a Super Baja Rey and you want to make it better, just one call to Horizon can get you those easy upgrades, and you could run on 8S and have bottom load battery tray, which is a far superior design. So now I just got to put the body panels on, take this thing for a ride, see how it goes with 8S, 750 kV motor, and the Super Baja Rey gearing. So that'll be the next video. So take care, thanks for watching, like and subscribe.